when we talk about understanding the market, okay, we are talking about the financial market. And a lot of people have this understanding and this kind of mental shift or mental disorientation when it comes to the financial market. They forget to understand that it is indeed a market. And the way you go to your normal market, whether it be in a retail market or whether it be in an online market, the way you go about your business when you want to buy, day in and day out, you are buying things. Day in and day out, you are negotiating prices, trying to get the best deals, trying to get the best prices. But when the same person comes to the trading industry, we intend to enter the market without negotiating our prices. We buy when the price is too high and we sell when the price is too low. And at the end of the day, we make a loss. And who stands to gain? The other participants that is taking opposite of what you are doing. That is the person that stands to gain. Because this is a zero-sum game. If you are losing, someone is winning. And if you are winning, someone else is losing. That is how we are being paid. So the 95% of the people that join the market are paying the 5%. That is mostly the statistics. Okay. So for us to be able to shift from being the 95% of the people, and don't think that the 95% are stupid people. They are very intelligent people. For you to even understand and have a strategy that you are using in the market, and for you to even understand price movement, you must be intelligent. You understand? So then what is the problem? Okay. The problem is a whole lot, and you keep on talking about it as you are going. But for this part of the course, I just want to talk to you about the auction market theory. Okay, so this is part of the series of understanding the market. So when you talk about the auction market theory, we are saying that the role of the marketplace is to facilitate transactions between buyers and sellers. You get what I mean? It's the same as your normal market. It exists to transact business. You are in need of tomatoes. You go to the market to go and get yourself a tomato. You use a legal tender, which is money, to be able to afford the tomatoes. And you give your legal tender, you take the produce. It's the same thing. So someone has a stock, someone has gold, whether being a spot gold or whether it being a futures gold. Okay. So if someone has gold and you want to get it, you want to buy it, you take your money to buy it and you hold it. If you bet that the price is going to go up and the gold prices goes up, then you get profit. If you bet it's going to go up and it goes down, you lose, and it's vice versa. So there is the marketplace or the financial marketplace is a place for transacting business between buyers and sellers. So 1 minute you'll be a buyer, the other minute you'll be a seller. You can be a buyer, you can be a seller. We don't say that you're a buyer and you're a buyer throughout. 1 minute you can be a buyer in one market, the next moment you are a seller in another market, or even in the same market. It depends. So price will always auction higher. The market is an auctioneer. Okay. It looks for where there's an imbalance of demand and supply. Then it goes there in search of areas where a trade can take place. So that is the market's role. The market is not your enemy. The market is there to facilitate trade, transaction. So it's moving where it can get a lot of supply or where it can get a lot of demand. So the price will auction higher, okay, to get more supply, or it will auction lower in search of demand, okay. Then buyers or sellers enter the market based on their perceived value of what they think the value of the prices. That is what makes. So I think the value of tomato is 2 cedis. Someone else think that no, tomatoes 2 cedis is expensive. So I need it at 1 cedi 50 pesos. That is the person's perception of the value of the tomatoes. And my perception of the value on the tomato is 2 cedis. So everybody has their own perception of what value is. And because of that, that's what creates this discrepancies in the market. So you think that here is the value, here is the demand. Price is lower enough for only you, for you to buy. But another person sitting in Asia or in US or in Pakistan thinks that it is not low enough and they still want to sell. So if you buy there and a person's money is more than you or more than the group of the people that are also buying with you, if the group of people that think that the price is not low enough is more than, then the price will push all of you and trap all of you that have bought, and you become trapped buyers. Then they will run your stops and take your money because they are forcing you to sell. So in the market, the moment you buy, you become a seller because the next action is to sell. When you click on the close or a close button or you end your trade, you have become a seller when you bought. Okay, so it's the opposite. So when you're a seller, you are selling hoping that you buy back what you have sold. Okay. So when you're a buyer, you buy hoping that you sell what you have bought. When you're a seller, you sell hoping that you buy back what you have bought or what you have sold at a cheaper price. Okay. So it's like that. So now when you buy, now you become a seller. After you have bought, now you're a seller. So now if price shakes you and your money is finishing and people are running the price down and it's going against you and you can't, then what do? You sell to them because they are the sellers. They are the ones selling. So you sell to them. Okay. Then because they are selling, they buy it. Okay. As simple as that. So your perception of value is not the same as my perception of value. That is why sometimes you enter into a price or you enter into a market and the market goes against you immediately because you thought it was value, but that value wasn't there. Other people also thought otherwise. And because of that, they run you down. So don't take it personal. This thing that I'm saying is very difficult. Like we can always take it very personal, as if you are not good, as if there's something wrong with us, as if we are not seeing like all the effort that you have put into the trading, or we have learned watch videos, and as you are even watching this video, you are trying to get more understanding. It's not worth it, but it's worth it. It's just that you landed on the wrong side of probability. As simple as that. And you go again when the opportunity comes. It is not personal. Your perception of value wasn't the same as the group of people at that time that were trading with you. It was just simple. And you are not a psychic. You cannot go into everybody's mind to know what they think value is. So you trade your value. If you trade your value, and if there are other people that also feel that okay, this price is also or this point is also a value, they trade along with you, and your trade works. So if your trade works, it doesn't mean that you are supernatural. It doesn't mean that you are. It's just that you landed on a good side of probability. So always you need to have a setup. You need to have an edge to know where you have the highest probability of the trade going to work, at least about 70%. You can't have 100%, 70% that the trade is going to work, then you go into it. Okay. And that is what we are talking about identifying those zones that there is a higher probability of the market moving in your direction. It's not a holy grail. Sometimes we would think, okay, the price is supposed to move from here, but other people don't think otherwise because other people also have other strategies and they feel like, no, my value is down. Okay. But what I'm showing you mostly it works because the institutions trade with it. The professional traders trade with what I'm coming to teach you. It's not really in the market like that. It's not really in the space. You will not really hear of it too much. Like what I'm talking about, the auction market theory. If you have been in trading, maybe you may not have heard of it. Okay, but that is what the big boys use, and that's what you have found out, and that's what you are sharing. Okay, so this is where you see. Let me get Okay, so this side. Okay, so this is the heart of the auction market where I'm pointing. Okay. is the heart of the auction market. It's a cycle that it goes through. This is the auction market theory. This is the heart of it. Okay. So there's value. Everybody perceive the value. There's a balance. Okay. When everybody accepts that this is the value, now transaction can take place. Some will be buying, some will be selling, and you see the prices going up and down on at the same region. So that means that when you see that, it means that the market is in a balance. Then at a certain point in time, you see that the buyers will overwhelm the sellers, or the sellers will overwhelm the buyers, and it creates an excess. So there can be an excess supply or there can be an excess demand. Then when that excess is created, then it creates an imbalance. That is what some people call it trending. Okay. Then when there is an imbalance for some time, then a new value is reached and is accepted. And when that value is accepted, when value is established, that is that buyers and sellers agree on that particular price, okay, then it creates a balance. Then they'll keep on being happy over the trading in and out, and that's what causes the consolidation or what we call the market range. And when that thing happens for some time, the buyers either will again overwhelm the sellers or the sellers again overwhelm the buyers and create an excess, and it repeats itself like that throughout every day, every day. That's why there's always an opportunity in the market. So when you lose today, tomorrow you may get another opportunity because opportunity in Forex doesn't finish. Okay, when you miss today, tomorrow you can get, even today you can still get again because of this cycle. It goes on in a cycle. And it's only the auction market theory that presents the market to you in this form so that you can have an understanding of the intricacies of the market. I don't want to make the market look very fictitious and very complicated. I want it to look very simple and very relatable to you. That is why I'm taking you through the auction market theory so that you will just understand it as the same way you go about your life, buying things and selling things. Okay. So that is the introduction to the auction market theory. So now we come, as I was talking to you about that, we have buyers and sellers, and you can be a buyer or you can be a seller, okay, at any point in time. So when we talk about the types of buyers, okay, we have two types of buyers and we have two types of sellers, depending on the intention. So you can be any of the buyers and you can be any of the sellers at any point in time. Okay. So we have the responsive buyers and sellers. And this is what typically everybody knows. But there is another group of buyers and sellers, which I'll come on very soon. But let's talk about the normal one that everybody knows. Is that I buy the dip and sell the rip. Okay. So you buy when price dips or when there's demand, and you sell when there's supply. So a responsive buyer is a buyer that enters the market, okay, when the price is below value. It's sensible, it makes sense. You go to the market to buy tomatoes when the price of tomatoes is down, when there's a whole the tomatoes, there's an influx of tomatoes and the value of tomatoes has dropped. That is when you go to the market to buy a lot of tomatoes, as simple as that. Then we have the responsive sellers. Okay, so the responsive sellers enter the market when price is above value. Okay, when price is above value. So when the demand has been exhausted and now there's no more demand. Now supply has to come. Like people have to supply tomatoes and they supply at a very high price because there's no more tomatoes. Okay. And when they keep on supplying and supplying, then the price of tomatoes will start dropping again, dropping again, dropping again because there is more supply. Okay, so those are the responsive sellers. So a responsive buyer is a buyer that will enter the market when the price is low, which makes sense. So you always want to buy a phone when the price has dropped. So because of that, when iPhone comes, people don't buy it for the first year. They wait for maybe 1 or 2 years and they go and buy it because they feel that the price or the price will drop, the value will drop. And when the value drops, they can get it at a cheaper price. It's the same thing. So you can buy price below value at a cheaper price, hoping to sell it at a higher price, and you believe, based on your strategy, based on your system, that it is going to appreciate. And because of that conviction, you are entering the market and buying. And you sell when you feel like the price is too overvalued, the price is too high, and that the price has to reduce and come back to value. And if you bet right, okay, then now when the price moves, okay, to your direction, now you are able to make money. If it goes against you, you lose money. Okay, so those are the responsive buyers and sellers. Then we have the initiative buyers and sellers. An initiative buyer is an opposite of a buyer. A responsive buyer, they are opposite. So an initiative buyer is a buyer that enters the market when the price is at or above value. So when the price is above value, that the supply is very low. So we need supply. Let's take for an example, the tomato as example. Like there was a lot of demand. So people, me and you, we entered the market trying to buy tomatoes, a lot of it, so that we can go and blend it. Some will keep it. That time, if a bowl of tomatoes would be like 20 cedis, when it was before 100 cedis, now it's like 20 cedis. There's a lot of tomatoes that has inflated the market. So we keep on buying and buying and buying and buying and buying and buying till the tomatoes get finished. Now it will be left with small amount of tomatoes. Still, I'm an initiative buyer. Don't get lost. I'm trying to explain. Till the tomatoes get finished, okay? Like it will be left with small in the market. Then now, myself, I see that, oh, this is an opportunity for me as a buyer. So the small tomatoes that are left maybe at Kaneshi Market, I will go and buy everything at that high price. So the tomatoes was at 20 cedis. People were buying, then now it will go to 30, it will go to 40 because it's finishing. It will go to now the tomatoes is at let's say 80 cedis or let's say 100 cedis per bowl. Okay. Then now when the tomato is at 100 cedis, I see it as an opportunity. Then now I enter the market and buy everything at 100 cedis because I have money. I have a lot of conviction. Then by doing that, now when me, the retailer, the retail buyer, that is me, that the consumers that we eat, we buy tomatoes to prepare our food. Now, when you go into the market, we see that there is no tomato again. And I will be the only one with tomatoes. My shop will be the only shop with tomatoes because I've bought all the tomatoes from the market woman. So now when you come, I can tell you that the tomatoes is 250 cedis. You have to buy if you need a tomato because you will not get it anywhere. That is the idea and the conviction behind an initiative buyer. They enter the market when the price is above value, then they buy it from there and take it to a new value. As simple as that. And the opposite is the initiative seller. The initiative seller enters the market when price is below value. So let me take the tomatoes as an example again. And let's say that I have a tomato shop, like I sell raw tomatoes, and I've gone to Burkina Faso. Okay, I have sorry if you are listening to me and you're not a Ghanaian or you're not an African. I'm an African, so I'll use the examples that are close to me. Okay, so when you let's say I go to let's say I'm a wholesaler, I sell tomatoes. I go to Burkina Faso to import tomatoes, a lot of them. Okay, I have a lot in my warehouse, but I realize that people are not buying my tomatoes because the price is very low. And so people don't want it. Okay. Or I have a competitor and the competitor is doing competition with me. Maybe a small fly. When I set my price, when I bring my price down, he also bring his price down. So because of that, the customers that are coming to me, they're also going to the person. I don't want that. I want to run the person out of business. So what do? I influx the market with a lot of tomatoes. I import more, influx the market with a lot of tomatoes. Now tomato become cheap. But that person bought the tomato very high. So now as I have a lot of money and I'm reducing my tomato price because I'm bringing a lot of supply and reducing the price and reducing the price, the person will be forced to sell out. The person will be forced out of business because now, assuming the person bought a carton of tomatoes, let's say 1,000 cedis, and is selling them to get profit. But now, because of the influx, I've made that 1,000 cedis to now become like 200 cedis. Now, when the person has to reduce his price down, down, down in order to match up with me, but the person cannot because the books doesn't support it, and the person is running at a loss. So it will get to a time that the person has to now sell. Then now what do I do? Now I'll go and buy all his tomatoes and I'll bring it and come and add it to my own. So I'll buy his own cheaper. I'll go and buy his own cheaper. So first it was, let's say 80 cedis, but I engineered it and I created a supply, a lot of supply, that he was forced to also reduce his tomatoes to 20 cedis like my own. Then now he can't. So now he wants a bailout. So now I go and buy all his tomatoes as 20 cedis when it was 80 cedis. And he bought it at 60 cedis, trying to sell it for 80 cedis to get 20 cedis profit. But I run him down to 20 and I buy all from him. Then now when I have a lot of tomatoes, then I'll wait for the dry season. Then I'll wait for the price to go up. Then I sell it to everybody and make a lot of money. Then I become an initiative seller. And this thing happens in the market very often. There are people that will hold the when you think that the price has met a resistance, okay, and it's supposed to come back to value, they will now come and buy everybody's order, put in large order and push the price to the moon, to a new value, just to force everybody out. Then now when they have it, now they have all the prices. And now they'll be distributing to everybody one after that at a very high price. And that is the role of the initiative seller. I hope you will get it. It's not complicated. And from the way I've explained to you, you will get it. Okay. I trust you will. Okay, so let's move on. So now I don't want to just talk. I want to explain it to you on the chat so that you can have an idea and bring the pieces together. Okay. So now you have this, okay? If you see the green line or the green, it's called a pivot. This is a pivot. Um, this is a value area. You can also put it like that, okay? So when you have this, I've indicated this green to show you that this is a buying zone, and I've indicated this red to show you that this is what a selling zone, okay? So this is a selling zone, but here it can also be a buying zone. But I will explain later as we are going on. So here you see that price was what? Moving up. Okay. Price was moving up. Okay. Price was moving up, moving up, moving up. It got to where the sellers are. This red zone is where the sellers are. These sellers, responsive sellers, they responded because they thought that the price is at where it's not supposed to be. The price is above value, and they saw value here that now they can sell and force all these people that bought out. Okay, when they come here, they'll force all these people, the people that actually sometimes even bought here. So if you are part of the people that bought here, or you are the part of the people that bought here, or you are part of the people that bought here, they have seen all of you. So now they know that if you bought here, your stop loss will be somewhere here. Okay, so now they have seen value. So now they will run all of you down and take all your stop loss and your money and push price back to value. So now when they get to value, now it is the turn of the responsive buyers. So then responsive sellers have bought, or sorry, they have sold. So now it's the turn of the responsive buyers now to push price back to them so that it can turn like a tennis ball. I push it back to you, you push it back to me at value. Okay, so this is where the responsive sellers think that is value. So the responsive buyers respond, but as you can see, their response are weak. because a lot of buyers don't feel that this is value for them. They don't feel. So they don't come. Then now you, the retail trader, you don't know. So you think that, oh, they are responding because you have seen a response here, you have seen a response here. So you are buying. The big boys are not with you because they don't see value here. So the responsive sellers were out. That is why I didn't put any responsive selling here. Oh, sorry, any responsive buying here. Okay, because they didn't respond. They just allowed the sellers to continue. They were trying to, play along with them, but they were not serious. Okay, so the sellers moved price onto this zone. Then now they saw that no, the price is trying to, is trying to go against them. So now the people that have position beyond here, this side now, they don't. We have to fight back, and the responsive buyers entered and they started fighting back. So that is why you see this thing moving all the way up. They fought it. Then they fought the price back to where they perceived was value. Then came the initiative participants saying that, we have seen value. Now, but there are buyers here, they are trapped. There are buyers here, they are trapped. There are buyers here, they are trapped. A lot of money. So me that I have billions of dollars, I need to enter the market and run all these people away and force all these people to sell to me. And sell force all these people that bought here, 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 bought here. I have to force all of them to sell to me so that I can make a lot of money. So now they enter with force. And when they come, it's with a lot of conviction, like a lot of power. And you can see that what I'm talking about. Okay. So this is a chart on gold. Okay. XAUSD. Okay. So when the buyers were trying to push the price up, then they arrested them over here and started pushing others and pushed them down. Okay. Then now they got control of the price and pushed the price down, ran these people that they have put their stop loss here, ran them, kept on running. The buyers, they didn't want to agree. They wanted to respond, but they were weak because the power that is coming from here, these people are billionaires. They have money. So they are able to push on price to move. Okay. So now when it got here, they wanted to respond, but it wasn't successful. Then now it came here, and now other responsive buyers that have money to match these people were here. So now they responded. Okay. And as they responded, still these people wanted to run them down, but they were also down stronger. All the buyers come together. No, where the price is going, I also have a position around here. Okay. So if I don't stop these guys from here, they are coming for me. I have about $130 million, order here. If I don't come in and push in money to push the price up, they'll come and run me too. So everybody is greedy. Everybody is thinking about themselves. So they don't want the price to come to this line. So they arrested the price up here and they started fighting the price. Okay. That is how it is. So this is what? This is the work of what? Responsive buying. Okay. They didn't work here. They couldn't work here, but they worked here. Here they were stronger here after the sellers have done the show for the day. Okay, so this is in perspective what the auction market theory is about. And if you understand who is in control of price and who is taking price to where and who is in charge and the conviction behind, it will take you a long way in understanding how you should approach the market. That is why I've brought this chart to explain better to you so that you know how to approach the market in a very sensible and in a very calculated manner. So this is sort of like a revelation. Okay, I'm seeing them responding. So this is what a responsive seller. So you know that responsive sellers, their aim is to push price just back to value. They don't want price to go. They just want it to come to value. So these people, their aim is to push price back to value, this value that they thought it was value. That's all. But these people are initiative. They are trying to move price to a new value, which is here. They don't want to play around here. They don't want to play here. They are big boys. They want to bring the price down. They want to push the price down, okay, to a new value. So now, when price started for the day, the value was here, but now the value is around here. And this is what I tell you. So as you can see, okay, This is what we call value and acceptance. So when price got here, you see it was trading nicely. Everybody, there was trade facilitation up and down. So everybody was buying and selling was going on here. So that's why you see green candles, red candles, green candles, red candles, up and down. This is what we call balance, and this is what we call value. So value has been accepted here. Then now, at a point in time, the buyers overwhelmed the sellers and they created this excess. This is the excess. Okay. They created this excess and pushed the price to what? To a new value. Then now the price began to what? Range also here. Okay. It began to what? Buy, and so there was an acceptance in this range. And now the sellers also overcame the buyers. Okay. Again. And they now push price. And this is what we call the excess. So now when there was an excess, there was an imbalance. This is the imbalance, the impulsive move down there. This is the imbalance. Okay, so price went into an imbalance phase. Then now it got a reaction. Okay, it got a reaction, and now price was finally accepted here too. So that's why it goes up, it comes down. So this is the new value. This was the value before. It came here. Now this is the new value. That's why I said value is not static. Value keeps on changing. Okay, value keeps on changing.